What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. This is Chu here from Choose to Explore, where I teach you to see the world and save $1. So lately, I've been seeing a ton of flight deals with Avianca Airlines, flights as low as under $50 one way. And my fiance and I recently took one of those flights to go down to Honduras a couple months ago. You can actually see that video linked above here to see our experience and what we were able to do traveling on a budget. And if you've been following my channel, then you know that I am a budget traveler who usually tries to travel for under $500 to $600 per trip. So flying with Avianca Airlines was one way that recently I've been able to travel so affordably. In actuality, in the last year, I've flown over 8 flights with Avianca Airlines, and that's from New York to Honduras, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Colombia, and a bunch of other places as well. And I have some travel booked for this year with Avianca Airlines. So today I'll just be showing you guys my perspective on how Avianca Airlines was to me in these flights. So Avianca Airlines is actually a Colombian-based airline with over 100 routes going to over 60 airports around the world. And it actually is the longest continuous flying airline in the world. While Avianca is similar to other budget airlines and you have to pay additional for seats and baggage in their lowest fare, the insides of the plane and your in-flight experience is significantly different. And when I say this, I mean that it was way more comfortable. It had noticeable legroom, and the seats also reclined. And also, this is a Colombian-based airline, so all of the flight attendants that we interacted with were bilingual between Spanish and English. All the announcements that were made were also in Spanish first and then English.
Reyes Sosa Mejía, Josué Edgardo Saldivar, Maria Inés.
And all the interactions I had with the flight attendants were fantastic. They were really nice to me. So if you flew in 2021, you know it was the year of cancellations and delays. And I'm only going to speak about my experience, but I had 0 flight delays and 0 cancellations last year and this year with Avianca Airlines. Also, being a budget airline, one thing that I did notice on our international flights, they sometimes did give me food and drinks.
Cassava chips.
Comparative to other budget airlines, you don't really get food, drinks, or entertainment. So this was something that I was not expecting, but it is always a plus. I don't remember the exact amount of times that I got food and drinks, but I do remember it, so it's probably more than once. One thing that I did notice after taking so many flights with Avianca is that there are very big differences between their older planes and their newer planes. Some of these main differences are TV screens, onboard Wi-Fi, and having outlets. Some of my short-haul flights didn't have TVs. And this really depends on the airplane that you have, whether they have TV screens or entertainment. Also, the Wi-Fi that I did notice was a paid Wi-Fi option, but overall, I did enjoy my in-flight experience. One thing that I did notice was a little different with Avianca Airlines than I'm used to is when it's time to deplane, they let the numbers on the right side go, then they wait and let the numbers on the left side go. For example, they'll say rows 1 to 8 on the right side, then they'll go, and then they'll say 1 to 8 on the left side and go. So if you do have a short connecting flight and you do pick seats, it might be better to sit on the right side, from my experience, than to sit on the left side because you'll be able to deplane quicker. And now I'm going to talk specifically about Avianca's selection of tickets and the different fares. So Avianca is similar to other budget airlines where they let you add things a la carte if you choose. Depending on if you're flying internationally or domestically, they have different fare classes from extra small to extra large. Now, extra small is the cheapest option and usually how I choose to fly. But also, it is the most restricted. You are only allowed to fly with a personal item, which is a backpack, pocketbook, or like a laptop sleeve. And this has to fit directly underneath the seat in front of you. Now, personally, when I travel with my 40-liter Baboon to the Moon book bag. And technically, this is my personal item. What I've noticed about these budget airlines is as long as the bag fits on your back, it is not usually a problem. And I've flown with this bag over 8 times and have not had any issues or anybody stop or question me about my bag. And even though they say the bag has to fit underneath the seat in front of you, and mine can, every flight that I've been on has had overhead space, and I just put my bag up there and nobody said anything to me as well. But if you do fly this class and you are more on the paranoid side, it may be better to get an upgraded class where you can have dedicated overhead space for you. So for example, the next class is small, and with small you get a carry-on as well as a personal item. And a big difference between extra small and small is with extra small you have no option of seat selection. However, with small you can pay for seat selection beforehand. With a small ticket, your seat selection is $15, and a check bag is $80 per flight. So if you are traveling with multiple people and you do want to sit together, or you just want a selected seat, small would be a better option than extra small. But you do have to pay for seat selection as well. With extra small and small, you do have to pay for a check bag fee. And if you're someone who collects miles, you do not collect any miles when you fly with extra small. However, if you fly with small, you do accrue life miles. Now, with the medium fare, you have a free check bag, you have a free carry-on, and a free personal item. You also have a free airport check-in if you want to do that, and you also have a free standard seat selection. So if you have a check bag, medium would be the best option to save you some money, and you also get free seat selection. But if you want the most flexibility, you should get a large ticket. Now with a large ticket, you can get a refund and you are entitled to flight changes. Personally, I fly with extra small, and that allows me to save money. When you don't have a seat selection, you still are entitled to a seat. So what that means is that they select your seat instead of you selecting a seat. A tip that I really learned is being nice to these flight attendants goes a long, long way. I go to the airport usually a little bit early and I talk to these flight attendants. I smile, I tell them how beautiful they are and how their day is going, and usually they give me a pretty favorable seat. But it really depends on how they are feeling, and it's at their discretion. And every time where I flew with other people, we sat together, even though we all were in the extra small fare class. But this is not guaranteed at all. And with small, standard seat selection is $15. But a check bag starts at $80. At this price, I would recommend just upgrading your class. With a medium or a small ticket, if you want to do a flight change before departure, it starts at $200 for this fee. Now personally, I flew to Honduras for $59, so having a change fee of $200 just doesn't make sense. But if you want to fly a little more luxuriously, extra large might be your way to go, where you have business class seat selection. So this is really my review with Avianca Airlines. It is a low-cost flyer that takes me from the US to all over Central and Latin America on a budget. Comment below and tell me how you feel about them and if you plan to fly with them going forward. Well, thank you guys so much for checking out my channel. If you got anything beneficial from this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Please comment and subscribe and let me know what I can do for you on my next videos. Thank you.